Dear students, I, Alamukarthi Neeraj, with yet another video. Welcome back. I have come across with many students who are confused with figures of speech, parts of speech and direct-indirect speech. So, here comes the video to remove your confusions. What is figures of speech? Where it is used? How to identify? For all these types of questions, you will get answers through this video. Okay, let me explain what is figures of speech. It is an intentional deviation from ordinary language. Okay, figure of speech is intentional deviation from ordinary language. It is used to carry meaning other than what they ordinarily signify. Okay, so now these figures of speech are used in literatures, novels, poems to increase the beauty. Okay, so we can say that the implied meaning to understand that figure of speech is required, and figure of speech adds richness, or it is like an ornament for the literature. For standard 10th and 12th students, what you have to do is you need to identify which figure of speech it is used and explain why it is used. First, let's learn about the simplest and easiest figure of speech, alliteration. Alliteration is nothing but the repetition of sounds or letters at the beginning or closely connected words. It is otherwise called as head rhyme or initial rhyme. Normally, in our usual language, we say rhyming words or rhymes means the ending sound will be the same. Okay, but in alliteration, the sounds that begins or the starting or initial sound, it should be same. Okay, now let us see an example. She sells seashells by the seashore. Here, she, S-H-E, she, shells and shore, S-H sound is repeated, and even sells, C, again S sound is repeated. So here, the figure of speech here is alliteration. Let's go to yet another important figure of speech, antithesis, which means opposite. Rhetorical contrast of opposing ideas and meanings. That is, two opposite ideas are put together to achieve contrasting effect. It should always contain the opposite ideas in one single statement, and that idea of contrast should be parallel structures or contrasted phrases or clauses, or otherwise it should be balanced. The opposite ideas in the single statement should be balanced. For example, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Error and forgive, opposite ideas, and it is given in the same statement and is balanced. That is why it is antithesis. Second statement, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. As you can see, wisdom and foolishness, again opposite ideas. And any age, if you see, wisdom and foolishness will be there. And it's in the balanced form here. That is why it is antithesis. Next example, setting the foot on the moon may be a small step for man, but a giant step for mankind. That is, if you want to step a foot on the moon, it's a small step, just only one step we need to keep. But to reach moon, it's a giant step or a bigger step. That is why it is a big step for mankind. Next example, man proposes, God disposes. Again, it is opposite ideas, proposes and disposes, same sentence and is balanced. So it is antithesis. Now in the figure given, positive and negative. So it is a depiction of life. Positive and negative together is our life. So we need to take the positive things more important than the negative things. Should learn to ignore the negative things. That is what this picture is saying. Again, our life is an example of antithesis. It is balanced. At another picture you can see black and white, and you can see a small goodness in the black, that is bad things. Black is normally depiction of bad things and white is depiction of the good things. And good things, if you are some small bad would have already happened. That is life. So life also is it's a depiction of antithesis. Let's get into the next figure of speech, paradox. Paradox statement appears to contradict itself. It is an absurd or contradictory statement. When investigated, it will be true. And this term is from the Greek word paradox, which means contrary to expectations, existing belief or perceived opinion. So we have some opinions about something, okay, and here paradox, it says contradictory. It is self-contradictory, but it may include latent truth. Reasoning from acceptable premises which leads to a conclusion that is logically unacceptable or self-contradictory. So it is unacceptable things. Sometimes we may have perceived something and it is exactly the opposite, that is unacceptable. Person or thing that combines contradictory features or qualities, that is also example for paradox. Now the example, truth is honey which is bitter. Truth is honey also and bitter also. How honey? Because we should know the truth. Rather than believing the false, we should know the truth. Okay, but that truth may harm us or hurt us inside. That is why it is bitter. So truth is honey which is bitter. I can resist anything but temptation. So anything in our around we can resist, but temptation we cannot. So if, for example, if a person who loves lots of sweets, he can resist anything but that temptation. If there is a sweet in front of him, he cannot control his temptness to eat that sweets. So that is what here the paradoxical statement states, that I can resist anything but temptation I cannot. Here in the picture you can see it is a primitive road and no warning signs. So moving ahead, it is a primitive road and there will not be any warning signs or any signboards over there. That itself is given in the signboard. So it is a self-contradictory statement. So self-contradictory statement is called as paradox. Let's move on to the next figure of speech, oxymoron. Oxymoron means two opposite ideas join to create an effect. A combination of contradictory or incongruous words. Combination of adjective preceded by a noun with contrasting meanings. Preceded by a noun. Adjective should be followed by the noun. Example is cruel kindness. Cruel is adjective, kindness is a noun. So adjective preceded by the noun. Normally in oxymoron this is the general structure. Or living death. Again, living is adjective and death is the noun. Oxymoron comes from ancient Greek word oxymoron. Oxus means sharp or keen and moros mean dull or stupid. So these words are kept side by side for the oxymoron purpose, that is self-contradictory, akin to wise foolishness. So oxymoron means wise foolishness. In the example, I am a jumbo shrimp. Shrimp is a small thing and jumbo, it is an adjective. So shrimp is described as jumbo one. Okay, so jumbo is adjective and shrimp is a noun. So again, adjective followed by the noun. In the next picture, you can see silent scream, old news, then paper towel, jumbo shrimp, then working vacation, and many things you can see. In that, these are all words or oxymoron examples. Okay, I'll explain to you one simple thing, that is working vacation. Vacation is the noun and working is the adjective. That means during vacation also we are working. Vacation means it's a time to take rest. But during vacation also we are working. That is why it is said as oxymoron. That is a contrasting idea, contradictory ideas kept side by side. It is called as oxymoron. Now, as you saw, antithesis, paradox and oxymoron have opposite ideas, self-contradictory statements, etc. Now let's compare with these three. First, let us see what is paradox. Paradox means unexpected insights which has some truth. Okay, so contradictory concepts, it hints to the deeper truth. Then that is known as paradox. Antithesis is opposition. So opposite ideas in the same sentence and that should be balanced. That is antithesis. Oxymoron, two words kept side by side together and it is involved to describe the opposite things. That is oxymoron. So to identify all the three, what the thing is, antithesis is balancing. In the sentence it will be balanced, and oxymoron it will be kept side by side, and mostly it will be adjective followed by noun. In paradox there should be some deeper truth inside this. This is the way to identify paradox, antithesis and oxymoron and to understand the differences. Let's clear the difference between antithesis, paradox and oxymoron with some examples. First, examples of antithesis. Many are called but few are chosen. In an interview, if you see, many people will be called but only some people that are apt for the position are chosen. So, few and many are the opposite ideas but both are balanced in the same sentence. That is why it is antithesis. The second statement, man made money but money made man. That is also opposite ideas and it is balanced. So example of antithesis. Examples of paradox. Attack is the best form of defense and your strength lies in your weakness. Attack is the best form of defense. If somebody is coming to attack us, we will attack them back because they should not hurt us. It is not the form that we are attacking them. We are defending ourselves. So that is why, even though the statement is self-contradictory, it is the truth inside that. That is why it is paradox. Your strength lies in your weakness. So whatever your weaknesses are there, you can make it into your strength. That is the truth inside that sentence. Examples of oxymoron. The movie had a bittersweet ending. Some movie you will find it as tragic ending, but that tragedy also gives us some kind of sweetness, or that will be there in our mind for a long time. That is why we say that the movie had a bittersweet ending. Said wept joyfully after seeing her dad for the first time in 15 years. Wept joyfully, why I repeated is crying and happiness together. Okay, so that is why it is said, means after long time, whatever we achieve, okay, our expectation means we feel happy and there will be tears in our eyes. That is what the statement is saying. Here, said she is very happy that she met her dad after 15 years. So example of oxymoron, it is wept joyfully, side by side it is kept. So that is why it is example of oxymoron. Let's learn about yet another figure of speech, personification. Names suggest that quality of a person is given to an inanimate object. The attribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human, or representation of abstract quality in human form. Or otherwise, we can say that an idea or an animal is given human attributes. The non-human objects are portrayed in such a way that we feel they have the ability to act like human beings. Example, the sky weeps. The sky is a non-human object and weep has the quality of human being only, not anybody else around us. So the sky is given the human quality of crying. So that is why this sentence is personification. Next example, time and tide waits for none. Waiting is again the human quality. And time and tide is inanimate objects given the human quality of waiting. That is why it is also personification. Here in this picture you can see it is written, the earth hath swallowed all my hopes. So earth is given the human quality of swallowing all the hopes. Let's learn yet another figure of speech, metaphor. Metaphor, from the picture itself we can say that a girl is compared to the tree. An object or an action that isn't literally true but helps to explain an idea or to make a comparison. Or otherwise we can say that it is a symbol, comparison or symbolism. We equate two things which are not same. A word or a phrase applied to an object or action which is not literally applicable. Let's make it clear with an example. My brother is the black sheep of the family. Here he is neither black nor sheep, but this comparison is used to describe the association of a black sheep with the person. Black sheep is an unusual animal which typically stays away from herd, and the person described here shares similar characteristics. That means he doesn't want to stay together with the family. He has a unique character away from the family. That is what it is, indirect or implicit comparison here. The next figure of speech, simile. Simile and metaphor are comparison only, but there is difference in them. This also has comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind. That means two unsimilar things are compared. It is used to describe more emphatic or vivid. Emphatic means more clearly. It draws resemblance with the help of the words like or as, or it is a direct comparison. Let's learn with an example. Our soldiers are as brave as lion. Soldiers are directly compared to lion. That is, they are very brave as lion. Her cheeks are red like a rose. So as I have already said, the words like and as is used to compare two unsimilar things like cheek and rose. Here you see the person is sleeping like a log. That means he doesn't know anything surrounded him. That is what means the direct comparison, how he is sleeping. As I have already said, simile and metaphor are comparisons, but there should be some kind of difference to identify the both. So in the Venn diagram described here, I have given a simple way to identify both simile and metaphor. Metaphor means implied comparison of two unlike things, no clue word to comparison, And simile, again it is also unlike things only, but like and as are used as a comparative adjective. And if you see, both of them has two different things to compare. Okay, so in the middle blue light, I have given the two common things for both simile and metaphor. And the way to identify both simile and metaphor. In simile, the words like or as will be used, and indirect comparison will be metaphor. So this is a difference that you can identify. Since there are so many figure of speeches in English, the video will be so long and it may hinder your understanding about the figure of speech. So I will be releasing as two parts, part 1 and part 2 videos. Thank you for listening so far. Please do not forget to like and share my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.